وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ.
Now the second group. Three types of people are discussed in these two rukus. Second, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. Verily those people who have denied, who have decided to be kuffar, to deny, سواء عليهم, for them it's equal. أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ, whether you warn them, أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ, or you don't warn them. La yu'minun, they are not going to believe. Now actually, here also Quran is pointing towards certain people. This is not general. So many people were kuffar, had not become Muslims till these ayat were revealed, and they became Muslims later on. So it cannot be a generalized meaning. Actually, it's a particular group. Those people whom Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had preached for 12 years at Makkah, and they had understood the message of the Quran, and from the depths of their heart they believed that this is correct, but they didn't want to accept it due to their haughtiness, due to their takabbur, due to their ghurur, because they were proud. They didn't want to follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why should we follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Are we inferior to Muhammad? No. Then this is actually when they had decided, oh, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is equal. It's equally fruitless or equally without any result. Whether you preach them anymore, whether you go on warning them anymore, or you stop preaching to them and warning them. La yu'minun, they are not going to believe. They have decided to remain kafir. They will not accept you. Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a seal on their hearts, wa ala sam'ihim, and on their ears, their hearing, wa ala absarihim gishawa, and on their eyes there is a curtain, there is covering on their eyes, walahum azabun azim, and for them is waiting a very big torment. Now this again, please note, those people to whom preaching was done, the message of Quran had been conveyed to them year after year. 12 years Muhammad took sallallahu alaihi wasallam at Makkah. Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab, it is not that they didn't understand. They understood. Quran was in their own language, and they knew Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the very birth. Abu Lahab at least knew him from his very birth. But they had decided not to accept him due to their haughtiness, their proudness. So actually now such people, they will not avail of your guidance. They will not avail of the guidance of the Quran. They will not benefit, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from your preaching, from your warning. So it's equal to them. And because due to their refusal to accept the truth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had punished them by putting a seal on their hearts. This seal is not in the beginning. This seal is put only when somebody refrains from accepting the truth, recognizing the truth that this is true. His heart tells him this is true, accept it, and he doesn't accept. Why? Because of proudness, or because of certain such reasons, haughtiness. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a punishment puts his seal on his heart. Now he cannot see because there is a curtain before their eyes. They cannot hear because their hearing is also sealed, and now their hearts are closed for any guidance. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ, now the third degree, third type of people. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. And there are from among people who say with their tongues, with their mouths, آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ, we believe in Allah, وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, and the last day, the day of judgment, وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ, and they are not mu'min, they are not real believers. They profess to believe, they claim to believe, They say with loud words, we believe in Allah, we believe in the hereafter, in the day of judgment, but they are not believers. Now who are they? First of all, please note, they are actually two categories who are being referred here without giving them any name. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given them any title. But as far as we can understand, there are two types of people who are being discussed here. Generally people think that they are only munafiqeen, the hypocrites. But actually hypocrites as well as the Jews of Medina, both are included in this category. And actually hypocrites were also people under the influence of the Jews of Medina. They were under their influence. And they were the shayateen, people which we shall very presently read in these ayat also the word. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَىٰ شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ. So actually this description, as you say in English, free to whom it fits. This is a narration and it fits two groups of people of that time. Number one, the Jews. Number two, the munafiqun, the hypocrites, who said they were Muslims, but they were not Muslims, they were not Mu'mins. Why Jews? Because here you find, يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, not bil Rasul. Here the wordings are only that they say we believe in Allah and believe in hereafter, but not in the Rasul. We don't believe in the messenger. At least this is not their saying. And that was the position of the Jews, because we believe in Allah. And you also believe in Allah, we also believe in Allah. You also believe in unity of Allah, we also believe in unity of Allah. You also believe in the resurrection, we also believe in resurrection. You also believe in the hereafter, in the heaven and hell, we also believe in the hereafter, and the hell and the heaven. So we are also Mu'mins. You must accept us as believers. That was their claim, and it's very noteworthy that out of the three basic imaniyat, three basic themes of iman, only two have been mentioned. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. They are not Mu'mins. And in the same way, and when we shall read the description, this fits, the munafiqun of Medina also. Because they also actually, they doubted about the messengership of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We find in the Quran at different places that they said, for example, why these wars have been started, battles have been started. There's no express injunction in the Quran. لَوْلَا نُزِلَتْ سُورَةٌ. Why not a surah has been revealed in the Quran? And only on this demand of theirs, we find that Surah Al-Qital was revealed. Surah Muhammad or Surah Al-Qital in the 26th part, which contains a very express injunction for going to war against the kuffar. So actually, they were not very sure about the messengership or prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were also their claim was Iman billah, Iman bil akhir. Actually, they took Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam not very seriously. And to obey Muhammad personally, that had become most difficult for them. So these both groups are included here. If you keep in view the Ta'wilul Khas, the groups who are in the background of these ayat. But when we shall infer generally, this will fit every munafiq for all times to come. Because as a rule, please understand, whenever there is some ideological call, when there is some revolutionary movement started based on some ideology, you will always find three types of people. There are people who accept the ideology at its face value, and then they are ready to die for it, live for it, to do whatever it demands. Then there are people who are opposed to that ideology. They oppose it clearly, openly, tooth and nail. And then there is the third group always, who want to support the ideology, but keep safe themselves. They want to play safe. They don't want to sacrifice their belongings or their lives. They want to be safe and, to keep their money with them. And everything, they don't want to take risks. And they want to do something good. But it should happen itself. Not that we have to do anything for it and we have to sacrifice anything for it. So these are the munafiqun, the third type of people who will always be found with every ideological movement, every revolutionary movement. People who believe it, take it at its face value, they plunge into deep waters, risking everything. People who refuse to accept and who oppose it tooth and nail, clearly. And people who are in between. La ilaha ulai wa la ilaha ulai. They are neither on that side, neither on this side. They are somewhat on this side, somewhat on that side. Meaning thereby neither on that side, neither on this side. So these are the munafiqun, and this is the third group which is being discussed here. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. And they are not believers, they are not the real mu'mins. يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. They try to deceive. يُخَادِعُونَ, I've added the word try. They are trying to deceive Allah and the people who believe, the real believers. Mukhada'ah, this is Baba Mufa'ala, this is trying against each other. So yukhadi'un Allah wal-lazina amanu, they are trying to deceive Allah and people who believe, the mu'mins. وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ. And they are not deceiving anybody except themselves. They are deceiving themselves. When they claim they are mu'min, they are deceiving themselves. When they think that they can please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through this verbal attestation only, well, they are wrong. They are deceiving themselves. وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ, but they perceive it not. They have not the sense that they are deceiving themselves. وَلَا يَشْعُرُونَ. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ. In their hearts, there is a disease. There is an ailment. That ailment is of doubt, shak, raib, doubt. And this is actually, this shak and raib, then it goes to develop into nifaq, into hypocrisy. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has increased them in their disease. This is the rule of Allah. This is the sunnah of Allah. This is the habit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you take to the right path, He will help you in proceeding forward on that right path. If you choose the wrong path, He will help you. Go ahead, further and further. And if you are in between, He will leave you there. It's your own choice. Imma shakiram wa imma kafura. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the choice to you, to me, to every human being. When the decision He makes, Allah makes that way easy for him to proceed further and further. All the difficulties of the right path, they are made easier for him. All the big evils of the wrong path, for those people who choose to take that wrong path for themselves, then they are made easy for him. When they go after one big evil to the another bigger evil, and then to the still bigger evil, they go forward. So actually this is the habit of Allah. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا. Allah has increased them in their disease. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And there, for them is a very painful torment. بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. On the basis of, because of the lie that they had been telling. Because they were saying we are Mu'mins, they were not Mu'mins. This was the lie that they were saying, they were telling. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Now it's very important. This third category of people, as I told you, one type of people who accept that dawah, that call, that ideology, and then they plunge into deep waters, risking everything. Other one, they have rejected the ideology, rather they have decided to oppose it, and they are opposing it tooth and nail. And then this third group is in between. They want to make peace between evil and good, between batil and haqq. They want to make peace between them. Because if there is a clash between the batil and the haqq, between the truth and the falsehood, if there is a clash, there is going to be bloodshed, there is going to be loss of life, loss of property, loss of conveniences, everything. So actually they want peace, not for the sake of their truth, but for themselves, to save themselves. That is why they wanted to say that why are we going to war? It's no use going to war against kuffar. Why not go on preaching and preaching and teaching and teaching? Well, we can preach Islam. We can teach Islam to the people. Why Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taken this way? He started sending small groups of armies, small groups, obstructing the way of the caravans of the Quraysh. What for? Why? This will lead to bloodshed. This will lead to war, to battles. We shouldn't do it. We should make peace. Now this character, you must read between the lines. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. When it is said to them, don't make mischief on the earth, they say, oh no, we are the peacemakers. What was the mischief? Muslims, the true Mu'min, said to them, if you accepted Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as the messenger of Allah, if you accepted Islam, then be true Muslims. Now obey him in every respect. When you have accepted him, now you have to obey him. Why this difference of opinion? This is actually mischief. This is fasad. La tufsidu fil ard. There is a party. You are breaking the discipline of the party. This party must be disciplined. Bunyanun marsus. Inna Allah yuhibbul lazina yuqatiluna fi sabilihi saffan ka'annahum bunyanun marsus. You should be like, a fortified wall. Not different people, individuals, So this group should be very much integrated. And why are you making this fasad? And the reply was, قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. No, we want to make peace. Muhammad wants to make war, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we want to obstruct this warmongering. We want to have peace. أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ الْمُفْسِدُونَ. Now this is the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Listen, they are the mischief mongers. وَلَكِنْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. But they don't have the perception, they perceive not. But they are the mischief mongers. Why? Because actually, whenever on this earth there is some system which is not the system of Deen of Allah, this is fasad. Although there might be all amn, all peace, apparent peace, but actually when this is not the law of Allah which is governing this place, it is in rebellion against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is fasad. ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ. This is fasad. This is rebellion against the rightful ruler. The rightful owner of this universe is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the only rightful ruler. And if anybody else, any other law is ruling, it is rebellion. So this rebellion has to be set under. It has to be controlled. It has to be dealt with. And for dealing with this rebellion, putting it down, you need a party, strong party, powerful party, disciplined party. Now if you are making injuries to the discipline of that party, you are weakening that party, you are abetting this system actually, this fasad. So Quran says, Allah innahum humul mufsidun. By breaking the discipline of the Muslim party, of Hizbullah, of the party of Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they are the mischief mongers. They are abetting and supporting this fasad on earth. Allah innahum humul mufsidun walakin la yash'urun. Wa idha qila lahum aminu kama aman nas. And when it is said to them, you should also believe just as the others have believed. You look to Abu Bakr, look to Umar, look to Sa'd ibn Ma'az, look to Sa'd ibn Ubadah, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu ajma'in. They are the believers. Why don't you follow them? Why don't you take to their examples? What did they say? Very interesting. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسِ قَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ. They said, should we believe just as these fools are believing? They thought they are fools. They are fanatics. They are risking everything. These are fools who have left their homes and hearts and they have come over from Makkah to Medina. Are they, wise people? They don't look to whatever is injurious to them, whatever is harmful to them, whatever is beneficial for them. They have just migrated from Makkah, leaving their families, their home, not only their homes and hearts, their families at the mercy of the wolves of Makkah. They have come over here. And they are fools. Actually, we are not fools like them. We are not going to risk our lives and properties and our wealth. We are not going to take that path. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسِ قَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُ كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ. Ala innahum humus sufaha walakin la ya'lamun. Listen to it. Hearken. They are the fools, but they don't have the perception. They don't have the knowledge. Abu Bakr is not a fool. Umar is not a fool. And Sa'd ibn Ibadah and Sa'd ibn Mu'az, they are not fools. These are fools. Abdullah ibn Ubay is the biggest fool of Medina. And the people who are like him, people who are obeying him, people who are taking his part, they are the fools. Because actually they don't know what is really good and beneficial for them. Because real life is the life hereafter. And this is injurious for them. Because we read in Surah An-Nisa, إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ فِي الدَّرْكِ الْأَسْفَلِ مِنَ النَّارِ. These munafiqeen will be in the lowest part of hell. In the lowest section of hell, they will be placed. So actually they are fools. وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا. And when they meet the people who believe, really believe, they say, we also believe. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَىٰ شَيَاطِينِهِمْ. Now this is a word, please note. When they are in privacy with their devils, with their chiefs. Well, these are the chiefs, the Jews of Medina. The Munafiqeen were actually, they were in close liaison with the Jews of Medina. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَىٰ شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ. There they say, we are with you. Don't think. Although we have openly declared ourselves to be Muslims, to be with the Muslims, to be with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but this is also, we are making mockery of them. We are with you really. We have not left your side. We are with you. وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَىٰ شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْتَهْزِئُونَ. We are only mocking. We are these fools, you know, these moments, they are fools. And we are making a laughing stock for them. Allahu yastahzi'u bihim. Now this is the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mocks at them. وَيَمُدُّهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ. Again the same divine habit or divine rule or the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whichever path you take, Allah makes it easy for you. وَيَمُدُّهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them increase in their wrongdoings, permits them going more and more in the direction of that evil and wrong path that they have taken and decided and chosen for themselves. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوْا الضَّلَالَةَ بِالْهُدَىٰ. They are the people who have purchased error, falsehood in exchange for guidance. Very beautiful words. Now guidance of the Quran came to them. Now they have two options. Either accept the guidance of the Quran or the opposite of it. That's the falsehood. That is batil. That is error. That is sin. That is disobedience to Allah. Actually now they have given away the guidance of Quran, guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and taken for themselves, accepting for themselves. They have exchanged the guidance for zalala, for the error, the falsehood. فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ. And this trade of theirs, it has not benefited them at all. This is the sort of Tafseer from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a commentary from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الضَّلَالَةَ بِالْهُدَىٰ فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ. And they are not going to reach the destiny. They cannot have now the guidance because they have gone very far on this path of nifaq and munafiqah.